Hello, everyone. My name is Jenna. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new and this is your first time here. I am an energy healing teacher and practitioner, really here to ignite you into realizing your dreams and visions, to help them to come into reality through energy work. And just know and work with the intention and the feeling and the knowing that your alignment heals your world. And you can do that from within. So, today I wanted to share with you one of my favorite topics. I get so excited about this because it's so important, it's so foundational, and that is about rest. That is about aligned rest and the guilt that we may carry about having that and taking that aligned rest. So I work with a lot of people using human design and energy work. So if you're not familiar with human design, you can, Google it and find out a little bit about it. And I'm going to share just snippets with you and how it can relate to rest and getting the rest that you need. So in human design, there are 5 different energy types. And so the idea, and at least my goal with working with human design, is to help both myself and other people come into the alignment and take action in their lives in accordance with who they are and how their energy functions, because it's the path of least resistance. If you are going against how your energy is naturally designed, then it's going to be a real challenge. And I've experienced this for most of my life before I realized that I was pushing against my energy, in a sense, pushing in the opposite way, pushing up a hill in a sense. And it got to the point where it was incredibly uncomfortable and also not so great for my health. So with this rest and human design, you can split the 5 types of energies into 2 categories. One you could call people who have a defined sacral center, and those who have an undefined sacral center. So those who have defined sacral centers are generally the generator type, so manifesting generators and generators. On the other hand, we have the non-defined sacral types, which include reflectors, manifestors, which I am one, and projectors. So basically, if you have a sacral center that's defined, you have sustainable energy and access to sustainable energy for working, for doing things that light you up, for getting the work done to build things or create things. On the other hand, the non-sacral defined centers, people with those non-defined centers, do not have that sustainable energy for doing that type of work. However, when they encounter people who do, they often amplify their energy. And so they may seem as if they can work really, really hard, but it's for a very short period of time, and then they need to take a lot of rest. Now, everyone needs rest, right? It's not just those who have that undefined center that need rest. Everyone needs rest, but the rest that we need may be slightly different. And so today I'm going to share a bit with you about rest and related to guilt. So why we may feel guilt about resting and what we can do about it. So the first thing is to actually recognize it. So how does it show up? So maybe you feel, oh gosh, I need to take a break. I need to rest. But maybe it's not your scheduled rest time. Maybe you work in something like retail and you don't get a break until X time. And so you start feeling guilty because you're not so productive, but you need to rest. And so it's kind of like this cycle where you're not getting what you need according to your energy and who you really are. And yet you're in this mechanism where you may be forced to continue working, even though that's not really what's best for you. So that could be an example. Another example could be maybe you have a bunch of kids, maybe you have one kid, maybe you have a spouse or somebody who needs your attention and wants your attention. You're like, oh, I just need to rest and recover my energy and get to the point where then I can go ahead and be productive. So maybe you're feeling guilty because you feel as if you should be able to help them or do what it is that they need or meet their needs, but then it's at the expense of your own. So again, it can get into the cycle. And those are just a couple examples. So I wanted to share something else with you about guilt and human design together. So there is a gate in human design, which is gate 50. And this particular gate is located in the spleen center. So it's one of the 9 centers. And this center has kind of this I guess you could call it the lower expression. And this lower expression can be not taking care of yourself, not allowing yourself the rest, not allowing yourself to take the rest that you need, feeling guilty and feeling an unhealthy sense of obligation. So this can keep you from doing what it is that you were meant to do. It could keep you from using your energy in the way that you're meant to use it, the way that it's actually productive for you personally. And so this unhealthy expression of this gate, which is a theme, it's like an energy, can show up in these ways. Whereas the optimal expression is recognizing, noticing when you need to rest and actually allowing yourself to do that. So allowing yourself to take care of your needs so that you're able to then do what it is that you need to do and what you're here to do. So notice how you feel about this. Did I trigger you by saying guilt and unhealthy obligation? And if you know what your human design chart is or what it has, take a look at that gate 50 and notice if you have it undefined, which means that you'll have no lines, nothing attached to it. Or if it's defined and you have maybe 1 line attached or 2 lines attached, or maybe you have the whole channel that's defined. So kind of notice what your energy is there, and that can help support you in harmonizing with your energy. So it could be that this is something that's really challenging. If you have that gate open, you may feel the experiences of other people and how they interact with this theme. And it could even be amplified in a sense. So you may be feeling everyone else's either alignment or misalignment with this energy theme. I actually have this gate defined, and I have it defined in both consciously defined and unconsciously defined. So it's like extra dependable, I guess, energy. And the interesting thing is I actually had to decondition this gate or the energy, this theme, because when I was younger, I went overboard and pushed myself so hard that I basically, ignored this energy and ignored this gift of consistently knowing and being able to care for myself without this guilt or unhealthy obligation. And what I did to get back into that alignment was energy work. So I got to the root of what is this feeling? What is keeping me from taking the rest that I personally need? What is keeping me from having a compulsion to just keep going without taking that rest, even though that rest would actually be incredibly beneficial? And I know a lot of other people have this challenge and problem as well. And you don't have to be have a defined sacral center. You could be any energy type and not be able to align necessarily with this ability to take care of yourself and take rest when you need to and really nurture yourself. So what I did is I did the work on myself first, and I noticed that there were a ton of trapped emotions, trapped beliefs, all of these energies that were keeping me from expressing this gate, the way that I was meant to do it. And now I host rest retreats for other people. So for those who feel this guilt or feel unable to take the rest and nurture themselves in the way that they are meant to do it. And last night I just had a session with some beautiful ladies who were feeling just unable to do the things that they wanted to do because they were so tired. And but often that energy that they were sending out wasn't necessarily guided in the right direction, and so they were just feeling really burnt out. So what we did is we released some trapped emotions, and some of those that come up frequently when we're doing this work are they are insecurity, low self-esteem, and especially vulnerability. And some of the themes that keep continuing to come up during these rest retreats, one is a belief of I always have to sacrifice myself for the greater cause. And so you can see how this energy, if you have this belief within you that's reverberating energetically, it's going to keep you from taking the rest you need because you're like, oh, I need to sacrifice. Oh, I need to do that. And it's not necessarily a conscious belief that it's right here, although it could be, but it's this energy that's keeping them from actually taking that rest. So those are just a couple examples. And during these rest retreats, we go deep into what is blocking them. And so we go deeper and deeper and deeper. So I want to ask you, what would you do if that guilt and that feeling of unhealthy obligation, that compulsion in a sense, what if that wasn't there? Like, what decisions would you make for yourself? What choices would you make? What would you do instead if that guilt and that unhealthy obligation were gone? So you might take a moment, you can even pause this video and ponder on that. Like, what would you do? And notice where that excitement comes in. Like, are you getting excited about the things that you do if you had that foundational rest? If you had the energy you needed to do what you wanted? If you had that boundary without that unapologetic boundary, in a sense, of being able to take care of yourself and nurture yourself so that you can go on and nurture and help others. So take a moment to think about that. You can pause the video if you'd like. And if you're ready to move on, I'm going to do a song bath for you to help clear out what could be causing this guilt or this unhealthy obligation and keeping you from taking the rest you need. And this is a little taste. In the rest retreats I do, we go a lot deeper into this and do more sound work and energy work to really get all those things coming up into release in order for us and the participants to really be grounded in who they are and act from there without burdens, without blocks. So I'm going to walk you through a mini meditation and we're going to do some sound healing. So you're going to imagine, intend, sense, or feel whatever is the opposite of what that guilt and that unhealthy obligation would feel like, or even better. So would that be satisfaction that you have this unapologetic rest or ability to rest? Would that feeling be energized because you are rested? Would that feel like relief because you're like, oh, finally I can take what I need without guilt? Whatever that feeling is for you, you're going to take that and you're going to imagine, intend, sense, or feel that feeling is in your heart space. You can even visualize if you want. So what would that be like? And then you're going to allow that feeling to amplify, to grow, as if you are letting it expand and grow and expand and grow. And you're going to let that grow until it no longer fits in your heart space, and you're going to let it burst through, kind of like a fire burst or a flame or something like that. And then let it go, release that feeling. And I'm going to bring through a song bath for you to help anchor this new feeling, this new way of being into your energy field so that you can start receiving and experiencing and being aligned with this ability to nurture yourself. Here we go. So take a deep breath, notice how you feel. Notice, yeah, where are you in that sense of guilt and unhealthy obligation? Has that lifted a little bit? Do you feel a little bit lighter? Do you feel soothed? Do you feel held, kind of like you're wrapped in a blanket? Notice how you feel, and I would love to know in the comments below. Let me know what that did for you. And if you are looking to go deeper with this work and to really embody that ability to rest so that you have that foundation to do what it is that you're here to do that work that is for you, to have that rest work balance. Check out the notes below. I'm going to leave you a couple links and some ways that you can be supported or work with me in this sense. And you can also keep an eye out for the next rest retreat that I do. And if you feel called, come join us. It's a really fun group container where we are releasing those things that help us hold us back and keep us from really embracing that rest. So have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Best wishes for your rest, and I'll see you later.